So hello guys, a big welcome to the Manjas Electrive channel. So today we are going to be working on a different part. We're going to be modeling a different part called a nodding, the nodding neck, or the nodding whatever. So we're going to be able to see it. We're going to be able to design that part. Then without wasting any time of yours, let's get started. I don't want to add in any jokes that are not necessary right now. So what we're going to be designing today is this. We're going to be designing this feature, so by the end of the video you'll be able to design this. So let us go to the documentation, the drawings that have been given. So right here we have the nodding plate. Yes, the nodding plate. It's a nodding plate. So right here we're going to start by designing the circular figure or circular body of 0.21 in diameter. Then we're going to create the circles. Then later on we're going to create this other part. So yep, let's get started. So I'm going to, since you've already seen this, I'm going to come here, create new design, come to sketch, click on top. So we're going to create our circle of diameter 2.1, I believe. Should be, yep, 2.1. Circle of 2.1. Enter. It's that small, so I'm going to zoom in. Now, once I've zoomed in, I'm going to create a circle which is a 1.5 where all these circles are going to lie. So I'm going to create a circle of diameter 1.5. So I'm going to come back here, click on this. Actually we can do that after we are done with extruding the body. So let's actually get done with extruding the body, then we can come back to that. So I'm going to extrude my body by, you can start by extruding it. You can see here the height of the body is 0.287. So I'm going to extrude it by pressing E. So 0.287 millimeters. So enter. Let's check on the side view. Yep, that is it. So after doing this, one thing that we're going to notice is, let's come this side. I want to click on top. Let's move it up a bit, or you can just press F6 if your function keys are operational or activated. So after changing this to the top view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my circles right here. Let me shift this thing away. So I'm going to create my top circle. All these features are on the top, so I'm considering this part right here to be the, actually let's see, yep, I'm considering this part right here to be the top. So we're going to create all these features on the top, then later we shall go back to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to fusion, then I'm going to create a construction, an offset plane right here on the surface of this body. Yes, we want it lying exactly on the surface of our body right there, as you can see. So I'm going to click escape, then I'm going to click OK. Then after doing that, I want to create a sketch on that surface. So I want it rolled the other way around like that. So after this, what I want to do is I want to create what I like to do always is to first create the diagonals, just in case I need them. I'm going to create another line vertically. So after doing that, I'm going to select these two lines, shift select. I'm going to make them construction lines. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle of 1.5 we're creating this circle of 1.5. Remember to position our circles right here. So when we're using the circular feature, so I'm going to select that circle and make it a construction as well. Then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another line right here. Let's escape that. Let's press D for dimension. I want this line to be at an angle of 45 degrees with that line. So I'm going to click on yep, that. After doing that, cancel that. I'm going to select that line, make it a construction line as well. I want it to have no effect on our sketch. After doing that, so now we have a point to draw our circles. So I'm going to come here, click on this, so escape. So after we are done with that, so let me cancel, delete, whatever. Let's cancel that. So I'm going to zoom out and move our feature quite to the middle. So after doing this, what I need to do is I'm going to use a circular pattern feature to create points for these other 4 circles. So I'm going to come to create circular pattern, select that point, then select the center point right there. So we have 4 circles. As you can see, it has positioned all the points exactly where I want it to. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create these 2 circles, points for these 2 circles. So let's come right here to create point, zoom in. I'm going to drop my point right there, zoom out, escape. Then I'm going to click on this, come to circular pattern. Then I'm going to select the circle as well. For this case, I'm going to say there are 2 because there are only 2. It's only these 2 that I'm talking about right now. So it's going to position it exactly opposite my other feature. So I'm going to say okay. Right there, as you can see, there's a point right here that has been created. So first we're going to create these 2 circles right here that have a depth of 0.1. So let's do that. So I'm going to create holes. So I'm going to of diameter 0.38. So let's come to solid surface and then click on holes. Then under holes, I'm going to select these 2 that I created. Then I'm going to, yes, they are simple holes, they are just through holes. Then this doesn't really matter whether I play it flat or it actually matters, because for this case, remember, our hole is not through, it's going to be hanging on the top, so we don't want an edged point here. That is why I've chosen the flattened type of drill point. So our depth that we're going to be drilling is going to be 0.1. It's going to be 0.1, and the diameter of our drill of our circles is 0.38. It's 0.38. So yep, let's look at it from the side such that you can understand what I'm doing. Yep, that is what we're doing, and escape. Then I'm going to say okay. So as you can see, we've created these 2 holes right there. So without creating another sketch, we're just going to go back to our sketch right here, right click, then edit sketch, such that it brings us back to where we are. So after doing this, what we're going to do next is we're going to select these 4 holes right here. Let's change it a bit such that our 2 holes remain right here and the 4 that we have are right here. So I'm going to come to solid hole, then I'm going to come to this, select that, select that, select this, select this, since they are all similar. So what features do we have on these holes? We see that they are through holes. As you can see, they are coming through. They are C-sync holes, so I'm going to go to fusion, and I'm going to select C-sync as a countersink right here. This is a counter bore, we're selecting a countersink. So So I'm going to select that. Do not worry about that. We shall reduce the diameter of the screw and all. So what are some of the features we need to look at again? So we see that the outer section of the screw of this C-sync countersink hole is the same as this one, which is 0.38. So let's enter that value, which is the outer part is 0.38. So as you can see, they have reduced. Then the next thing we need to look at is the size of the hole. So we're going to go with 0.206. Maybe let me first start by entering this value, then you see the reason as why some of us decided to go with 0.206, because this value was actually too small and gave us very small drill holes. So let me enter that value here. So the size of the through hole was 0.0206. As you can see, let me change the view, the orbit. Sorry, let me change the orbit. As you can see, it looks more like a funnel than actually where a screw can fit in. So that's why we decided to go with a 0. We removed the 0 and went with that. So that looks more practical, since you can have a C-sync hole of this with a screw drilling right through with that diameter. So yep, so that's what we basically did. So what other dimension do we need to change this? We're leaving the angle at 90. This doesn't matter, because all we want is the drill point going through. So we could have as well just chosen the height of our depth, which is 0.287, which is also fine. 0.287, which is also fine, because it still creates the holes through. As you can see, it still creates the hole through. So it's still fine that we put the height of the material itself. So I'm going to click on OK. So after clicking on OK, we see that our features have not appeared, but that is because we went back in the timeline, and so we have to extend back our this black point here to the last thing that we have done. So then you'll be able to see the holes that you've created. So that is that. So as you can see, let me spin it around so that you can see what we have. So that is it. So once we are done with all that, the next part we are going to be doing is so we are done with these parts right here. So let's turn back to the bottom part and create this last hole. Not really a hole, but almost the same as this. So it's not going through but ending on the surface, and it has a diameter of 0.63 and a depth of 0.13. So let's go ahead, spin our body and create that piece of magic right there. So I'm going to carry it right here. So I'm going to create an offset plane. But first I'm going to hide all the sketches we have done initially. So I'm going to come to construct. Offset plane. I'm going to put it on this surface. Okay, I want it laying on the surface. Then I'm going to create a sketch right there. Then I'm going to spin it a bit, though it doesn't really matter, but I like my positions being the ones I'm used to. So this red axis on the vertical, green on the horizontal. So after doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to create we can just, since we already have a point on the middle, we can just come to hole. Then I'm just going to click on that. So what we want is a simple hole of a diameter. The depth, we know that depth is already given. We have a diameter of 0.63 and a depth of 0.13. So depth of 0.13, then a thickness of 0.63. So let's look at it from the side so you can appreciate what we're doing. So 0.63 and 0.13. So that is exactly what we have done here. So I'm just going to click on OK. So once we are done with this, the next part then we're going to do is work on designing this upper top part of our model. So this is actually easy, as well as you're going to see. So what I'm going to do is remember, let's look at this. You don't really need to remember, but let's see what is actually here. So you see that this part, this nice hanging part of ours, is located on the surface of where we place the holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate back to the other side, to the top right here. Then I'm going to select the top. So after I've selected the top, I'm going to, this is where our body is going to be. So instead of me actually drawing this thing in the direction that I'm at, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it the other way around, then draw it. Let me show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to turn it, turning it the other way around actually, this. So after I've turned it this way, let me ensure that I've really done what I wanted. So that is the view that we want from the right hand side. That is for me it's from the right hand side. So what I want to do is I'm going to create an offset plane here, where I'm going to draw my rectangle, where I'm going to extrude that feature from. So let me show you what I mean by what I've just said. I'm going to select this plane. Okay, then I want to create a sketch right there. So after I've selected all these, what I'm going to do is I want to create, number one, I'm going to create a bottom line right here. As you guys know from my previous videos, probably say that I like to draw horizontal lines and vertical lines to ensure that I'm accurate as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this exactly on top of this plane surface. So how am I going to do that? So let me escape this, escape. When my escape working, let me just delete whatever it's trying to, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this line, then I'm going to select coincident, then I want to select this upper part, such that my line lies exactly on the surface of that body of ours. So I'm going to escape, click on my line and make it a construction line. Then I'm going to as well come back to line. I'm going to draw a vertical line right there, like so. Select it, make it a construction line. So after I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rectangle. So as I explained in the video that you guys saw, we use a rectangular dimension. We put a circle inside in order to generate that top part that you're going to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to position my rectangular sides to be kind of symmetrical. So as you can see, I'm trying to make it symmetrical on both sides to the vertical axis. Then I drag it on top. This is what I'm trying to do right there. So after I've created that, I'm going to change its dimensions. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this symmetrical. Maybe one last thing I forgot to tell you guys as I was doing this is one very important thing is that when we're constructing a construction plane, we left it at 0, 0 because it is lying exactly, as you can see where this thing is lying, exactly at the center. So this way I'm going to draw our figure, then I'm going to extrude it symmetrically in order to be able to design this feature right here, or the one that you're seeing here. So let's proceed with what we're doing. So let me go back to this view. With the help of this, they can be able to position me well. So after I've done this, what I want to do is I want to arrange these two sides symmetrically such that when you change their distance, they won't change in a manner that we do not want. So I'm going to click symmetry, and I'm going to click this side and this side. So I'm going to constrain them. That's what I'm doing. I'm adding constraints to my sketch. So I'm going to click that, so they are constrained symmetrically, and that is okay. That is nice. So after I've done that, it's also important to see that my rectangle is lying on the surface. If it's not, it's better you click on the rectangle, use this coincidence, then move it exactly to this point, so as we did for this vertical line. So that's what you basically do if your thing is not lying on the surface of our body that we are drawing, because we are going to join them. So now after doing this, I want to change the dimensions. So I'm going to click on D, or you can come to this sketch dimensions. So I'm going to pull it this side. This is 0.75, as you guys can see from here. 0.75 is the width and 0.75 is the height. So I'm going to come back here, then I'm going to type in 0.75. Okay, so then this side as well, I'm going to change it to 0.75. Enter. So as you can see, it positions them automatically, not pushing one the other side, but bringing all of them together in order, but leaving them symmetrically. That's the reason as why we chose a symmetrical positioning of these two with reference to the vertical line. So after doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the dimensions and constraints such that we have a simple sketch to work with. Then I'm going to come to create circle, then I'm going to click on 3 tangent circle. So I'm going to select 3 sides of my figure, so it automatically draws a circle here. Then after we have done that, the next thing we want to do is we want to create this inner circle right here of diameter 0.455. So I'm going to come to circle, then diameter of 0.455, then we enter it. So after we have done that, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to trim off the features that we do not want. These are not really important to us, so we're going to trim them off. Then even this side of the circle and this side of the circle, so we remain with only this. So after we are done with trimming, I'm just going to escape. Then I'm going to select this part here, as you're seeing. Select this, then I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to extrude it symmetrically. So now we're going to extrude it. Let me first change the dimension of view so that you guys can see exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to extrude this feature symmetrically, but what is the, from here we now want to create this thickness. So we have created this model, this design here, then we're now creating this thickness. So we know that the thickness of our figure, this top figure right here, is 0.375. So it's 0.375 millimeters, 0.375 millimeters. So I'm going to come, we're going to divide 0.375 millimeters by 2, since we're going to do 1/2 of that distance this side, 1/2 of that distance this side, since we're moving the extrusion symmetrically. So I'm going to divide 0.375 by 2. 0.375 divided by 2 is 0.1875. So I'm going to come to this, I'm going to escape that, then I'm going to change 0.1875. So as you can see, it has extruded our figure or sketch symmetrically on both sides. So I'm just going to, and make sure this join feature is activated, because we want it joined and not new body, not new component, but joined. So after all that is done, so I'm going to click on OK. So as you guys can see, we have created that upper notch that most of you might have been afraid of. We have created it, as you can see right here. So after doing this, there are some few steps that we are left with to polish up on our model and make it Miss BBI, and make the model Miss Modeling over 2023. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our drawing that we have been given. So one of the things we're going to see is that we're going to fillet this upper edge of our model. Then we're going to, as you can see from here, we're going to chamfer this edge right here. Then we're going to fillet this edge as well, as you guys can see right there. So let's start by filleting our edge here of the body. So I'm going to close all sketches, then I'm going to hide all sketches. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to select F for fillet on your keyboard. Then I'm going to select this edge. Make sure your edge becomes black, not the surface changing or something like that. What we want is the edge turning black. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to change it to what is it, 0.09. that is what I'm going to select, 0.09. so I'm going to click enter, and that is it. So after doing that, next thing we want to do is fillet these edges of our thing. So I'm going to come back to our drawing right here. So I'm going to fillet this edge. As you can see, this cornered part of it, I'm going to fillet it by 0.03 all round. So all round meaning I'm going to do it for all the sides of the thing. So 0. What is the dimension? 0.03. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on fillet once again, F. Then I'm going to select this edge right here, this edge. I'm going to select this edge. Then I'm going to spin my body. Remember, it's all round, so I'm going to select this edge as well, and I'm going to select this edge as well. Then we're going to fillet it by what? 0.03. So the value we're going to put here is 0.03. Then we're going to enter. So after filleting, next thing we're going to do is we're going to chamfer this upper part of ours. So we're going to chamfer that part by using a 0.02. So we're going to come to modify, select chamfer, then select this edge, then select this edge as well. Then I'm going to select 0.02, enter. So after we have done all that, we have finished editing every part of our body that we need to edit. As you guys can see, every part of our body has been edited from down top to bottom. So let's look and see what else we haven't done. So we have done basically everything here. The circle, we didn't need to create the circle diameter because we already used the tangent circle to create our center point. We used this, we used this. Yeah, we have basically done everything. So the last thing we can do is add the appearance, like edit the appearance. Of course, it's color is some very important thing we all need to appreciate. So I'm going to select the red and I'm going to drop it there, and yep, as gorgeous as it is. So yep, that is it, guys. This is what we had to do for this video. So if you've learned something new and you've enjoyed the video, please give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Beast up.